My name is JT. Most people in the crowd know me as Charity. You know my last names. That's what happens when we go to facility to facility. I guess my whole thing now is, my biggest thing is, I would say, I keep my circle small. That's kind of the biggest thing that's helped me, you know? And that's kind of been like, you know, my biggest point. I mean, I'm about to be 20, I turned 20 in a couple weeks. And it wasn't overnight. I remember when Robert came in to Spring Creek, September 2011, and I was there. And I remember we sat at the table one day, and we were so caught up to gangbanging, whatever, and he called me dog. And I was just like, he might not even remember it, but I was like, I'm not no dog, you know what I mean? And you see us cool back there texting, but at one point we was about to fight, you know what I mean? Through a chair, all types of stuff, you know, had to go to a holding cell, whatever. But that just kind of shows, you know, how, you know, God can put something on your heart and change you, you know what I mean? And it doesn't happen overnight. I never gave out, you know, a full testimony. You know, my whole biggest thing for a long time is I've been a fronter, you know what I mean? I fronted, I faked, you know what I mean? I've done it, you know, and I would say, you know what I mean? I can look at you guys, you know, today and be like, I got a drug problem. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I have a drug problem, but I have been a full-out, you know, drug addict, and I might not look like it, you know what I mean? But I'm on parole, you know what I mean? I slipped up, you know, and I still go to AA meetings or NA meetings or whatever, you know? And it's not something, you know, I broadcast or whatever, but it's a struggle, you know what I mean? And just being able to grow up and know that, you know, has been something that, you know, and be able to accept that, you know, how selfish I was has been a big issue for me. You know, when I was, you know, it started, you know what I mean, I started late, you know, I was 16, you know, went to Wyfield, football scholarships, you know what I mean, schools wanted me to go play for them, you know what I mean, and I just, you know, I blew it, and it's like, for what, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing is you become like who you're around or whatever, you know what I mean, but it's all a choice, you know what I mean? You make the decision every day. And that's why I say I keep my circle small, because I can go out and do whatever, you know, whatever's clever, you know what I mean? I can go out, I can go out tonight if I want to, I can go hit the club, I can call up so-and-so, it's 8:15, you know what I mean? What are, you know, other adults or whatever, young adults, whatever, what are they doing right now? You know what I mean? They're not in here, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big decision, you know what I mean? I think God puts people in your life, you know, for a reason. And, you know, just like yesterday, I see Perez in there, I see S.C.T.F in there, I see his wife, you know, they're at the YMCA, and I'm just upstairs, and I got my music in, I got Till I Collapse It by Eminem, and I'm about to get down, and I turn around, and I just see S.C.T.F, and I'm like, he's like, you know, you coming down? And I'm just looking like, you know, I was just on the phone with my old primary from the Dell House, you know, and he was just like, I talked to him, you know, he's in Chicago now, and he was just like, keep God in your life. He was like, you know, I'm gonna pray for you, and then, you know what I mean, just, you know, I've always been an avid prayer, but, you know, I've also been a worrier, you know what I mean, about where I'm going or what I'm gonna do, and because of that, I get distracted, and I just eventually say, you know, forget it. But in Matthew, he says, what cubit can a man add to his stature by worrying? You know, he's like, isn't it enough that, you know, I provide the birds and the bees or that they sing? You know what I mean? You know, that you can eat or you got clothes on your back, you know, and it's took a lot of building, you know what I mean? I would say the one person, you know, that can get to me is my mom. And even though he might not know it, you know what I mean, I'm not, you know, I got older brothers, you know what I mean, but that little man right there, you know, yeah, he got his head down now, but he's not shy, you know what I mean? You know, he's been somebody that I cried over in ROP, whatever, and I call him Dickie Simmons, you know, because he's spoiled, you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever seen Run's house, but his son's always got everything. You know, I was telling Robert, like, man, what 11-year-old has a leather jacket, you know what I mean? And my mom just falls for it every time, you know what I mean? But, you don't necessarily have to show it, you know what I mean, by, you know, pretending or whatever. You know what I mean? I've been to Z Pipe. I went for a 90-day refocus. You know what I mean? I've been to ROP. I've been to Spring Creek. I've been to CJC. I've seen it. And I'm like, why is my life going this way? And it was just because, I let it. And I let outside control me, rather than me control what goes on. On the outside, And I thank God every day. I really do. I'm tired. I just work 10 hours. But it feels good to say that. I would say the biggest thing is September 18th, 2013. My daughter was born. God put a little girl in my life. And me and her mom, we don't necessarily see eye to eye, but you can't tell me that I'm not a good dad. You can't tell me that, I don't provide. You can't tell me that I don't split the time. You can't tell me that she's not constantly on my mind. And I think that was something that, has helped me, to put into perspective that I not only have my life to care for, but I got this little one's life to care for. And even though, I'm not, out of control, balling, whatever, but, I'm working, I'm in school, and I'm about to have my own spot, but what all ties into that, real talk is I can come and I can talk to God, and not just fake it anymore, not just be like, hey, just fix this, please, so I can go do this, It's like, hey, fix this so I can learn, so I can learn from it, because going down the path, that even, some of the older kids have been through, I remember Perez was crazy, man. I seen him, hit a dude, with a tray. I don't want to put him on blast, but I'm just saying, you can see how people, can change, people you never thought you'd be cool with or whatever, and that just shows that, I don't have to depend on anybody for anything, I got a shoulder to lean on, but at the end of the day, I can say that I'm really growing up, And it's not just, front, I'm not the same at all, as I used to be, I would say that every little step, I got out of Z Pipe, went to the Dale House, relapsed twice, was in the hospital twice, But every time, if you don't take it and learn from it, you're not gonna do anything, you're not gonna go anywhere, So I can honestly say, that, I'm truly blessed,